go. So this is literally all I've been doing at the moment. It's just going around my estate at night. Well, I say at night, in the evening, once the sun's gone down, and just getting used to the bike, because it's all well and good. Like, you know, I learned on a bike when I was doing my CBT. Why would you just walk out in front of me? Jesus Christ. Just little things like that, do you know what I mean, straight away. And it's just like, it is worrying, because I think, you know, what if you're going at speed and then someone just decides to drop out in front of you like that? But again, it all comes with experience, and this is all I've been doing at the moment, is taking little trips around the estate, practicing my close control, doing a lot of U-turns, and then just basically getting used to the gears. Because the thing I found, which I don't agree with either, is that you can do your, I was going to say pass your CBTs. It's not a pass or fail, it's, you know, whether they feel that you're suitable isn't the word, is it? Like you're safe to go out on the roads. But for me, so I'd done an introduction to motorcycling, and I found it really, I thought I was going to breeze the CBT based on what I'd been reading online and stuff. And then I thought, right, I'll do an introduction to motorcycling just to see how I get on. And it completely blew my mind. I was just like, I'm so glad I've done this. But then I realised how difficult it was doing gears, because straight away it was my mind, my brain was just working overtime, and it was like I couldn't process it. It was like all of a sudden I'm doing gears I'm doing the clutch with my left hand instead of my left foot. I'm changing gears with my left foot instead of my left hand. Now I'm braking on my right foot, and it was just like one thing after another. And then let me just come to a bit of a stop. And then I couldn't do it. Like, I could not do it. It got to the point where I was thinking, I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to get through a CBT. So then I made the decision on the day to switch over to an automatic. And this is what I was getting at a minute ago. I don't entirely agree with the process, because you can pass your CBT, I keep saying pass, but you can do your CBT on an automatic, but then you can go and jump on a manual straight away. And I if I'm being really honest, I don't agree with that. I think it should be the same as when you're doing your driving lessons or your driving tests, that if you learn in an automatic and you do your test in an automatic, then you can only drive an automatic car. Or if you learn in a manual, pass in a manual, then you can do both. But it's different with a CBT. So I kind of felt like it was a bit of a hack just to get through it. So I'd done it, and they actually sent 2 people home at lunchtime on my CBT, and one of the guys was an experienced motocross rider, but he just couldn't get out of the habit of looking down at the floor, which you would do as a motocross rider, because you're looking at the terrain all the time, making sure you know where you're riding and it's safe, there's no holes or the ground's uneven. Instead of like when you're on a bike, you know, you've got to focus and look ahead as much as possible, and he just couldn't do it, so they sent him packing. said he's got to kind of change his habits and come back again. And the other guy just couldn't get used to the gears, and he hadn't had an introduction to motorcycling lesson. And I found it invaluable having that lesson, because I then knew that I'm going to have to do this on gears. And what I also found, and this is the other thing, I think if you're going to book your CBT, and I'm only saying this from experience, I would say go and look where the CBT is held, because a lot of people do it in a nice big car park, but the company I then found out they'd only been running 13 weeks, and the car park was so small, like ridiculously small. And I felt like where they're a new company, they've just gone and grabbed what they could find or what was available, because he said they were searching for months trying to find a location. And I just find that in a smaller car park, and this is in my opinion, and this is what I was finding tricky with the gears, by the time they taught us to change it up into second, and by the time I was in second, I was 3/4 of the way across the car park, and then it's time to change into first gear, and then do something different. And it was just too much processing in a short amount of time, but regularly. Instead of having a nice little run up at something, staying in second gear for a while, preparing to change down into first gear. So that's what I would say. I think if you're going to go and book a CBT, go and have a look at the size of the car park, because I believe it can make all the difference on the day. But then, after I got through the CBT, I went straight out and brought my bike, like literally straight away. I had to wait a couple of days for it to come, but it was a manual. And then I thought, I'm just going to chuck myself in the deep end. So this is all I've been doing now. Like, I passed my CBT last week, so this is all I've been doing now for literally, I'd say 3 or 4 days, because I've had a bit of man flu, but I'm over that. But now all I've been doing for 3 or 4 days, I wait till the sun goes down a bit, just because of the heat, and then I jump on the bike, and then I just go around my estate. I literally don't go out on the main road yet, because I haven't had the confidence to do it yet. But all I do now is I just go out on my bike and go around my estate, and I just practice my road positioning. I practice approaching junctions. I stop at junctions, I'm pulling away, I'm looking for traffic, or I'm approaching other junctions on the estate where I can see it's clear in both ways, and then just going. And then, like I said earlier, I'm then going up some of the roads. I'm practicing my kind of close control, dropping it down into first, using the back brake, and then doing U-turns. And for me, it was just about mastering a lot of this stuff. As I say, mastering, you're always learning, but getting to grips with it as much as possible, especially on my bike as well, because you want to learn how your bike handles, what your balance is like on a different bike from what you've been learning on. And that's all I've been doing. And then I've been going over an industrial estate, which is opposite my estate as well, and it's got a really nice long road up the middle, and it's generally kind of dead in the evenings. So that's all I've been doing, is going up there, and then I've been practicing, just changing gear, and changing up, changing down. I've been doing a couple of emergency stops. Again, I've been doing all junction practice and everything else. And then again, it's just getting used to my bike, and then getting some speed up. I mean, that's another thing altogether. I mean, sometimes I think I'm absolutely whipping along, and then when I look down, I'm doing 20. But I think it's just because you're not sat in a car, and it's just that freedom, isn't it, where you just feel like you're gliding through the wind. But I am absolutely loving it at the moment. Absolutely loving it. I'm 47 years old. People have said midlife crisis, and I'm like, no, I'm just more sensible now. I'm older, and that's the main thing for me, is go and do things when you're older. You know, you can do them when you're younger, but I think when you're older, you've got a lot more knowledge about you. You're a lot more sensible. Like, I'm not interested in speed. You know, I might have 10, 20, 30 years ago, but I'm not interested in that now. Like, it doesn't interest me whatsoever. For me, it's more about cruising and the lifestyle, you know, the freedom, you know, going out to places, riding to places, going for lunch somewhere, going for a coffee, you know, looking at sights. That's all I want to do. And for me, it is more of a, you know, I can do it now. And you've got to think, when you're older, you're in a much better, hopefully, in a better financial position to do these things. And, you know, you only live once. Life is too short. So go and grab things and have a bit of fun, because, you know, tomorrow may never come. Right, so I'm going to get some more bike time in before the sun goes down, because I'm still a little bit, you know, dubious about riding in the dark. So let's crack on. We go for a ride over the industrial estate as well. Let's see how we get on. Right, so I'm in neutral, clutch is on, dropped it into first. Now we start moving away. Life-saving check over my right shoulder, even though nothing's coming. And here we go. Ease off the clutch. And we're off. Into second. God, and I seem to have a terrible, terrible, terrible habit of leaving the bloody indicator on all the time. When I was doing my CBT as well, it was constant across the comms to me. It was like, Jamie, indicator, Jamie, you know what I'm going to say, Jamie, your thumb must be hurting, Jamie, Jamie, Jamie. But again, it's just muscle memory, innit? So we keep going and we hope that we get rid of some of these bad habits. Here we go, indicator off, ha ha, pull away, second gear. I'd say second gear as well is the only one I seem to be having a bit of a problem with at the minute, and I think it's because I'm not getting enough speed up. But all the other gears, oh, right, here we go, coming up to this junction, indicator on, P3, so position 3, so we move over, look over our right shoulder, apply a bit of back brake, nothing coming, we turn, look up the road, and we're off, indicator off. Second gear, push. We're getting there slowly, slowly. Watching for these cars, indicator left, in second gear still. Look up the road ahead, throttle on. Keep looking in the mirrors. These little humps. Keep going. Here we go. This is like the most I go on the road. But I'll show you now how close this actually is. So here we go. Indicate right, position 3, right shoulder, life-saving check. And here we go. Let's go around. We're away. Indicator off. Third gear. P2, position 2, centre of the road. Fourth gear. Let's go. Come on. Fifth gear. Let's go. Indicate left. Here's an industrial estate. Drop down. Fourth gear. And here we go. See, I took that a little bit too fast, and that's what I'm still trying to get to grips with at the minute. So now we're on this lovely industrial estate, and this is where I just like, let's go, come on, second, third. Woohoo! Man, he is absolutely having the time of his life at 29 miles per hour. Who'd have thought 26 miles per hour would have absolutely impressed a 47-year-old. Excuse me. Man flu cough. Here we go. God, it's such a bloody fantastic feeling riding a bike. Honestly, I've said for years as well, I was like, I'd love to ride a bike, but they're a death trap and this, that and the other. And it's only been the last kind of 6 months that it's really, really, really started growing on me. I was like, do you know what? I've done a lot of things in my life. You know, I've had boats and this, that and the other. Because I think, you know, like I said, you only live once. Just go and grab things with both hands. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Spot some local tow rags. Local tow rags. Jesus Christ. See me getting the eyeball then. Was absolutely shaking on the seat at the thought of them 17-year-olds. They're going to be chasing me down the road, trying to rip the bike from under my arse. No, thank you. I'm out of here. Oh my God. I remember the days. I wasn't on scooters though. I was in cars, hanging out in car parks, teenagers. But listen, fair play to them. As long as they're not up to no good, I don't care. But each to their own. Right, we'll make a little right turn up here in a minute. No, we'll do a left turn actually, we'll do a left turn. Right, indicator on, looking in the mirrors. We're in fourth now, dropping down to third. Applying a bit of back brake, second. That's it. Turn, come on! Man's absolutely smashing it. Third gear, indicator off, Jamie. I'm banging my head against the wall. Here we go. Right, I think we'll do a little U-ey up here. There's a car coming up behind me actually. So let's move over. Let him know where we're going. Bit of back brake, bit of back brake. Drop it into first. And let's turn. Let's turn. Come on! Oof, oof, oof. See, that's what I'm talking about. And I think that is a little bit of a bad habit I've got where I sometimes when I'm pulling the front brake slightly, I seem to apply quite a bit of pressure through my, like the palm of my hand, onto the accelerator, and then as I'm pulling the brake, I'm then pulling on the accelerator slightly. Right, nice little stop at this junction, indicating left, nothing coming. Woo! Right, off on the clutch, and let's see if I can remember to turn the bloody indicator off. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible pull away from the junction. Indicator off, checking in the mirrors, moving out to P2 in the middle of the road. Here we go, we're off again. Let's go! Back to the main junction. Indicate right, Look in my mirror, life-saving check over my right shoulder. Chuck it down into second. Anything coming? I think we're all good to go here, you know. Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't you dare pull it on me. Indicator off. And we're away. Let's have it. Pop, 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 pop. Woo! Fourth. Let's go. Keep checking in my mirrors. Here we go. Approaching the junction, the roundabout. Let's put the indicator on nice and early. We move to P1, position 1 on the left. We're in fourth, knock it down into third, knock it into second, nothing coming. Look left, look up the road, and we're away. We're back onto the estate, back into the safety. Indicator off, Jamie. Oh my God. Here we go, little speed hump. Here we go. Bosh. Let's keep going. Right. Indicate right. Move towards P3. Nothing coming both ways. And let's go. Indicator off, Jamie. Jesus. I'm annoying myself. But we get there. Let's go. Approach this little junction, which cross this little cross section here, which I don't like. Onto my driveway. First gear. Whoop whoop whoop. Let's have it. We are back, baby. This is a bit I'm having trouble with at the minute. Just getting into. Oh my God, I've done it. I've actually bloody done it, guys. I've put it into neutral at the first attempt. There's hope for me yet. Right. Join me again soon. We'll keep practicing together. Hopefully, any information I've given you is helpful for your CBT. And you can join me on my journey as I go from CBT, practice, 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 hopefully until I get my dream bike, Triumph Bobber. But my head is getting turned at the moment by Harley Roadsters, so see what happens. Catch you later.